When Cuba and the United States agreed to resume commercial flights, 10 US airlines rushed to get in on the act. Now, two of the smaller companies, Frontier and Silver Airways, have decided to pull out, while others are cutting back. Yet according to official Cuban figures, 43,000 Americans visited the island in January, a 125% increase over the same month last year. Industry experts here say there's no indication that the US tourist bubble has burst.
No, de ninguna manera.
Not at all. The airlines are cutting back because they overestimated the number of seats needed. Also, they should have considered an earlier study by Visit Florida, which predicted that 1 million Americans would want to visit Cuba, but 60% of them want to come on cruise ships.
Cruise ships can now sail to Cuba from Miami, and this year the number of liners docking here has risen dramatically. Earlier this month, Florida-based Norwegian Cruise Line became the latest to sail into Havana Bay.
Cuba has been off limits for 50, 60 years, and I think it's time that Cuba becomes an integral part of cruising out of Port Miami and out of other ports throughout Florida.
For decades, Havana was the forbidden city for Americans. Now those on board can see it briefly for themselves.
Just wanted to see what it was. Hadn't had a chance to see it, so.
We wanted to see the old cars, too.
It's good business for the private classic car owners, while bars, restaurants and gift shops near the docks are also doing well. Cruise passengers don't spend as much as other tourists. They only spend a day or two here and sleep on board. But Cuba's infrastructure is struggling to cope with so many tourists, and already there aren't enough hotel rooms to go around. But the current boom could still turn to bust if US President Donald Trump decides to put an end to détente. Michael Voss, CGTN, Havana.